Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm Grace.
And I'm Lucy.
We're coming to you live from the studio on 83rd Ave, and you're listening to
The Big
Picture Podcast. Today we're talking to Tom.
Welcome, Tom.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Superb.
Excellent.
So, who are you?
My name's Tom Tunski. I'm the creative director of Ego Magazine, which I'm sure I'll talk about in a little bit. I also work at CoLab, which is an art center downtown. Essentially, we try to provide artists across all communities in Edmonton with an accessible space to perform art, make their art, all the good stuff that has to do with art. I also work as an actor in the city. I've done plays and films, kind of on and off, taking a bit of hiatus here and there. And music video director, I do a lot of stuff. I like to do art stuff.
Multi-talented.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you get to where you are now?
Well, I went to an arts-based high school in Edmonton called Victoria School of the Arts. They have like a heavy focus on like music, dance, acting, everything pretty much. They have like lots of resources there. I started off getting really into like band and music. I liked playing trombone, so I was like a jazz musician kid for a long time, and then
so cool. I love
right?
jazz.
Jazz is the best, and
It's the best.
I think it informs a lot about other art just because you have to be so free flowing and adaptable with it, and like understand structure, but then also understand like how to play within that kind of thing. So yeah, I got into like jazz band and music and that kind of thing, and then I started doing acting, and I did that throughout high school. After high school, I was doing that, making a living off of it for a little bit, not like too long, but a little bit, and yeah, and then after that, I kind of got into event curation, and I've kind of been doing mostly focusing on that kind of thing the last couple years, but I mean, I still act in things occasionally. Yeah.
Cool. And so you're really involved in like the arts community here in Edmonton. What was your first experience, kind of your like first event or really like intro to the community like?
Yeah, so that would have been, I mean, I was always kind of a part of like the theater community, but I find the theater community is very its own thing. People like to be like, I don't know, niched into like certain things. So I found that community kind of like really stuck to itself, at least at that time. But in one of my acting classes was the rapper Just Mo. I don't know if you guys know Mo.
Oh my god, big fan.
I will shout Mo out on everything.
On
But yeah, like I was in a class with him, and we'd been doing it for like about 8 months, and then he had like his first rap show, so he invited our whole class to come out, and we all went to his rap show, and it was just like I'd never been to a rap show. I enjoyed hip hop, but like I didn't know too much about like the history of hip hop or even like what that kind of energy is being at that kind of show. And then I went there, and it was awesome. It was like what you see in the music videos, the energy that people had. I don't know if you guys know Cartel Madras. They're like they're signed with Sub Pop, and they're from Calgary, and they were performing there, and they're fucking amazing. So that pretty much sold me. And then after that, we just that whole summer there was like events. So there was like Flood the City, there was the Enigma, there was I mean, that's when Fuck It happened eventually.
Was
like
that 2019?
Yeah, I think so. I can't.
So it was like the Zenith show
Before
too.
like everything went down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Zenith. Yeah. There was like, dude, that was like the year for shows in
What
Edmonton.
the hell? I had
Right.
no idea, right? Oh.
Right? And like I talk to people now, and they still talk about that year. So
Totally.
hopefully after
So the
COVID.
last hurrah year, like it shows the
Yeah.
potential that we will have soon.
Exactly. I feel like that was like the summer that like a lot of things clicked for people.
Connections were
And
made.
yeah, connections were made. We had these events, and people kind of started realizing like, yo, I can't just like wait around for these opportunities to come around, because like in Edmonton that doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
You kind of have to make your own, right? So yeah, I don't know.
Well, darn it, then let's make it, you know?
Right, yeah, exactly.
I love that attitude.
Exactly. That was like, that's kind of been my whole thing. I got like, kind of why I stepped away from acting was I was getting pretty like frustrated with the quality of stuff I was acting in. Like, there was a lot of stuff where like I just wanted to do art, so I'd audition for things that I wasn't necessarily like excited about or wanted to do, but because it was out there, I'd just do it. And then that kind of thing can be soul killing once there's like a lot of bad short films you've been in. But yeah, it's always been something that's motivated me, is like just making your own path kind of deal.
Well, that's what you have to do as an artist, really. Yeah. Make your own path. It's true. It's kind of scary.
It is. It's also like exciting though, because like, I don't know, anything can happen. Like, I didn't think I'd be doing any of this stuff like a few years ago, but like now I'm killing it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Ego. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, we're
Ego
part
Zine,
of
is that what
it.
you call it?
Yeah, Ego Zine, yeah.
Ego Zine, sorry.
Yeah, it's like Ego, or like Edmonton Goes Off, is a project we created. It started right around when COVID was coming around. This kind of connects to what we were talking to about that awesome summer, right?
Yeah.
Catapult.
Yeah, right? It was like a complete 180, and we saw that like, we saw the potential that the city had and like kind of the momentum that it had built up last summer, and we didn't want to lose that, because like that was kind of what we were doing. That was what we were out for. So like we didn't want to lose that. So essentially our idea was to kind of take the function of a live event on a community, which is like connecting people, showing people a live performance, allowing people to like share information and tell stories, that kind of thing. And we just wanted to put that online. So we decided to create Ego. And basically how it works is every Friday we release like 3 posts. We release like a cover image, a performance video, and an interview video on our social media. And essentially we put it on social media because that's the easiest to share, right?
Yeah.
If you click on our page and you click on one of our artists, you can go to their account and follow them if you like their music. You can send them a message even, right? It's like a ways of communication.
So cool.
Yeah, it was like it took a lot of work, but it's really cool. I was looking through like my notebook where I like kind of came up with everything originally, and like I drew a picture of our Instagram feed and it looks exactly like it, which is like just such
amazing.
Yeah, it's just such like a mind fuck to see like where I was like 2 years ago, and then it's actually real now, and we have like the magazines and shit. But yeah, that's kind of like the whole idea, is like connecting local artists and also like having artists perform and like show their talent, but also providing the context to that talent. So like being like, yo, so like for example, we had a rapper named Arlo Maverick on, and Arlo is like, yeah, he's like an OG Edmonton rapper and just like a wealth of knowledge. So he got to share with us about like how people would advertise their shows in like the early 2000s and 90s, where like they would leave like as their voicemail like that they have a show coming up, because like there was no Instagram, there was nothing like that, right? So being able to like tap into that kind of knowledge that isn't really accessible for artists where like we're all at, like younger artists, emerging artists, and being able to connect people like Arlo with people in our community. Arlo's like gone on to connect with some of our other artists featured on Ego and has kind of mentored them, helped them through different things. He ran like a songwriting camp.
So cool.
Yeah, that's what Ego's all about. It's just like showing people that there's stuff in the city and there's like connections in the city that you can make. You don't have to move away. Like after high school, all my friends moved away to fucking Petersburg.
No,
right?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Montreal and Vancouver.
Yeah, exactly. All these fuckers.
You're like,
Yeah.
But the thing is like there's such a large pool of people, and because there's such a large pool of people, there's such a smaller amount of resources. Where in Edmonton, there's like a small community of artists, but there's all the fucking resources in the world. Like the amount of, and I'm just kind of like learning about this now through my job at Collab, is like the amount of money that the government gives out, that the city gives out for like arts is incredible. And like obviously there's more that needs to be done. There needs to be like more, it needs to be more accessible for artists, I think. But yeah, just the fact that there's like so many resources like Fava, like Collab, like there's so many ways for people to do stuff.
Yeah.
iHuman, yeah, exactly, is like there's all these resources, but people think they have to go to the 6 to get them, which is just not true.
That's so crazy. Just open up your eyes, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Your back door. And if I'm correct, the place you're working at, Collab, that's like right across from the art gallery, right?
Yeah, it's actually beside iHuman, right across from the art gallery. Like, yeah, it's awesome. So, yeah, we work in the Boyle Street area. That's kind of our mandate is to provide like accessible like events, art to that area, because that area gets overlooked for a lot of things. If there is funding put into that area, it's for gentrification. It's to rip out the old and put up some nice new apartment building. So our kind of mandate is like, we want to meet people where they're at, whether that be the folks that live in that area, or that be people who just want to like do something, do some art stuff, but they don't really like, they don't know how to start, or they don't know if they want to throw an event, they don't know how much that costs. Like, that's kind of where we come in, and we want to meet you where you're at to make it happen, right?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. They are so cool. Like,
going back to Edmonton Goes Off a little bit. Right. How can people get involved with that? Like, how can musicians
get involved?
Get featured?
Yeah, so I've gotten a lot of DMs. That's not the way to do it. But I do appreciate people sending me their music. I always check out people's music. But right now we're in the process of kind of creating our second version of Ego.
Season 2?
Yeah, we're calling it Volume 2. We're going to try to do different like volumes. But yeah, essentially what we're trying to do this time around is feature 15 musicians and then 5 artists across various disciplines. Music and hip hop specifically was so easy to tap into people because it's such like it doesn't take that much effort to listen to music, right? But it takes a lot more effort to like engage in like a fashion video or something like that. Yeah. So the whole idea for the first volume was kind of to establish Ego, establish like the music side of it, but now we want to expand to other things. And how people can get involved is we're going to be opening up something where people can apply and send us music, send us videos, that kind of thing. That's still all in the works. We're still working on our grant funding right now, but that's the idea, is that we will be taking like submissions from people to get involved. Beyond that, like, I'm looking to build my team for like, I need like I'm just going to do a call out for people right now. Like, I need a social media manager. I need to look at like videographers and photographers and all that kind of stuff. So DM me if you're a social media manager, videographer, or a website designer. I really need a website designer. So yeah.
Hit him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit him up.
And aside from your Instagram page, is there any way that people can get like a physical copy?
Yeah. So we're kind of working on that right now. I actually we wrapped Ego, and then like 5 days later, I was rehearsing for a play, so I didn't really have time to set up selling them at a spot, but we're actually in talks about selling them somewhere in the South End right now. Yeah, for now, you kind of just have to wait till we have live events. That'll probably be the best way to get them.
Oh, live events.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Ooh.
So who are you listening to locally?
Okay, I started listening to some of these young cats that are rapping, like younger than I am. So Kid Kuda is great. Yeah, I don't know too much about him, but he's got a really nice sound. Dave KK I've been listening to for like probably a year and a half, 2 years, and I kind of just rediscovered him, and he's like, I don't know if he's younger than me or not, but he's like, seems like a young kid, and he's got a really great voice and great lyrics. Wacko Dreamer is another kid I've been listening to.
Great name, eh?
Yeah, I love him. He actually, like, my neighbor runs the McKernan Music Festival, which is like just such a weird connection. But yeah, we actually hooked him up playing there, which was really cool. And apparently he killed it. Like, people they were like not expecting hip hop to be that kind of crowd, but apparently they like really brought some energy that killed it. So
It's good. It's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Beyond that, Monks on Call is a fantastic band.
I've heard about them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a show with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can help you connect with them because they're so awesome. They do like folk country, I don't even know, folk blues stuff. They played our show during the summer and they just absolutely melted the crowd, which was so dope.
Nice.
You should definitely book them.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know, I kind of had to take a break from local music for a bit just because I was like during Ego, I was listening to people nonstop all the time.
Right.
But yeah, I'm kind of just getting back into it now because we're trying to build our lineup for the next volume. So I'm making my way through some Edmonton people.
Nice.
Sounds like you really are, honestly.
Yeah.
Great job.
Who are you listening to non-locally?
Non-locally? Oh man, I listened to Corday's new project that came out, which is just great. He's a fantastic musician. Not locally. Who else? I've been listening to a lot of movie soundtracks as well. The Sorry to Bother You soundtrack. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. It's amazing. It's got Lakeith Stanfield in it, and he actually like does some of the soundtrack. He like raps over it.
Cool.
So yeah, I've been listening to that a lot. I like also Ski Mask, The Slump God. Like I don't know, I've just kind of been getting in my dirty rap where it's not necessarily great, but it's like it's got a good beat to it.
Yeah.
It's got fun flows, that kind of thing.
Cool.
That's what it's all
Who are
about.
you listening to locally, Lucy?
Who am I listening to locally? I was gonna say like maybe just Mo, but
Mhm.
We were
That's
literally listening to that
him.
before
Just
you came.
Mo.
We're like,
Oh, I don't know why. He's coming up on my feed again too. So
Right?
yeah.
He's so consistently good, which
Right?
is like
Oh my God.
it's
When his
crazy.
Smile album came out, made me smile.
Right.
Oh God.
I think like one of the things that Mo definitely has going for him, and he knows this, is he's like a classically trained, or I don't know if he's classically trained, but he's like a theater actor. So he's able to bring a lot of that physicality and
Very much so.
and like he also like knows his lyrics. There are so many rappers in this city that go up on stage and they don't know their lyrics and they have like a backing track, and like honestly that is the worst. No one pays to see that, man. I gotta air it out because these kids go on and people pay money for tickets and they're like watching you mumble and stare at the ground. Like I find that absolutely ridiculous. Sorry for that aside, but like, oh my god, I've seen
Wake
that.
up call.
I've seen that too much, and then people want to be on Ego. Like you're not going to be on Ego if you don't know your own lyrics. Straight up.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah. Fair enough. I feel like locally,
Yeah, who are you
Mm.
I've
listening
been
to?
listening to Mo again, but I said that last time, so I feel like that doesn't count.
Oh, you did? Now
We
I'm
went,
mentioning him 3 times?
we were
He's good.
He's good.
we were hanging out with Madden the other night actually, and I was like, please, like, just play something for us, like, please, because I've never seen them perform live, and like,
Oh my god, I was there too, and like
goosebumps,
Yeah,
tears,
their
like I'm like
voice.
sitting there. It was like fucking incredible, and then Gratuitous
God, she sings from her
Platypus,
heart.
and Kaylee Jade.
Yeah,
is-
I actually met Kaylee
Yeah,
recently. and-
I went to school with her. Oh, I guess she is like she does acting.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
came to my play. So
Oh,
I signed her.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And she does like she was in this really cool project called Smile at the End of the World. I don't know if you saw anything about that.
was that like the video thing?
Yeah,
I saw that.
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
well, I think actually it's like a photo narrative series, but it's
Okay.
like Apocalypse Edmonton or something. It looked cool. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
So cool.
Yeah, it looked really
I
cool.
was in a play with Kaylee when I was really young.
Yeah.
We were in Father of the Bride together.
So cute.
Interesting time.
I have a few more questions about Ego, actually.
Yeah,
Where
fine.
did you guys even shoot it? What's the location?
Fava. We actually, we shot that all at Fava. Yeah. They didn't know that at the time.
Right.
Because of COVID restrictions. We weren't supposed to be doing any heavy breathing activities, which counted as singing, which was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
no
actually
heavy breathing, no panting.
Yeah, it was crazy,
No
and like
heaving.
the whole getting a studio was difficult because it's so expensive to rent a studio. So like I rented this other one, and that fell through. And so because Fava is so cheap and accessible to the community, we were like, yo, we'll just use Fava and sneak all of our artists in and sneak all of our artists out. And we did that for 11 days, and it worked.
And it looks
surprisingly.
super professional.
Oh, thank
really
you.
cool.
Incredibly done.
Like,
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was all my crew. Like, man, I worked those kids to death. It was like 8-hour days, 10-hour days.
Yeah.
With like sometimes we'd go through 3 artists, and like, yeah, my crew were troopers through that whole thing. It was.
How many people were you working with?
So there was a crew of, I want to say about like 8 people. So there was me, and then my 2 interviewers who are also David Madow and Elijah O'Donnell, and they're part of the creative team. They're producers as well as they're the interviewers on our show. We also had 3 videographers that switched out throughout it, and 2 photographers, and then a sound engineer. So I don't know if that adds up to 8, but it was a lot of people, and because of the restrictions, and we wanted to be so careful, we could only have a certain amount of people in the room. So basically I made teams where it'd be like, okay, this is the performance team, they'll go in with the artist, we'll spend 2 hours doing the performance, we'll move them out, we'll switch over to the interview team, we'll do an hour, film an hour of that, and then we'll switch that out and then do half an hour with the photographers, just with the artist.
Genius.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's a lot of planning.
It helped all of, like, I can schedule my life now because I scheduled fucking 9 people plus all the artists across like 11 days. It was insane, dude. But
crazy 11 days though. That's insane.
Yeah,
wow.
and then like there was like lots of mishaps, but we made it happen, so it worked.
Any funny stories?
I don't know about funny.
Or disasters.
Nothing like honestly super disastrous. Like we didn't break any of our equipment. We were generally pretty on time. We never got kicked out. Like it worked out in the end almost like flawlessly, but just like the amount of stress on everyone before that, going into that, and then going out of that was just unmatched. It was stupid. But we got it done. It took a long time to like edit everything together, but eventually we got it done.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
So at least it was worth it,
so
right?
Thank you.
How are you guys inspired by your like set and all the colors that you have going on? Because I'm looking at your Instagram feed and it's a rainbow and it's so beautiful how you have it all organized in these little different colors and stuff like that. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So that was kind of like the whole basis of it was straight up. I don't know if you guys have seen a Colors show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ripped off a Colors show essentially. Because they do the same thing, 3 angles, and then the thing is they do a different color for their performances, and then they do interviews and they do photo shoots, but not all of that content is together, right? So that was kind of like the whole idea of Ego, was like centralizing all of an artist's content across like a row in an Instagram feed, and then kind of the idea of like differentiating all of them is what we call that the ego. So that's each artist's ego. I've always thought of it like they're in the studio, and when they're doing their performance, anything that's like around them is like a reflection of them. It's like they're shooting it out onto the white studio. Yeah. So like for some people that was like a lighting thing. We just have a colored light. For some people that would be projection. For some people we do glow paint and awesome glow stuff. That was Lucy.
I was wondering. That was so fun to do. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it was just like, I think like the most fun was deciding all of those and then seeing how they kind of changed throughout the process. We had like initial ideas, but then when it came down to the logistics of like graphic design or on the day, like what we have available. We really had to adapt to that. Sometimes it worked even better than what we like first imagined. But yeah, that was like something that was really important, is that we got to individualize each of these artists so people can see that there is like a vast difference of artists. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of
unique.
Yeah, exactly.
You need the intimate experience like that in order to kind of develop a relationship between audience and artist. It's crazy good at it too.
Exactly. It's like that was the other thing. Is like we want it to be. I've seen videos and stuff that are shot in like portrait, like how we have our video fit your phone. I've seen that kind of shot before, but it's for something like a short film or something, and it just like it doesn't. I don't think that works. It's just like too long to hold someone's attention. But with like a short performance, it's something really easy and intimate. And I always thought they looked kind of like trading cards on your phone, which is like, I thought that was really cool. I liked Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, so.
I didn't even think about it like that. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Right? You gotta come out with like a trading card game or something.
Totally. Okay.
Let's talk about Collab a little bit more. That
Yeah.
place is so cool.
It is awesome.
The big yellow building with the arrow looks so awesome downtown.
And what do you do there?
So I do a lot of things there. I help program some of our stuff. I run our social media from time to time. I manage our volunteers. I do like site maintenance and that kind of thing. If we have an event that's like our programming, sometimes I'll host it. I'll always run it pretty much.
MC.
Yeah, that I hate emceeing too. Oh my god, I hate it so much. Yeah, it's like it's a non-for-profit, so everyone kind of does a little bit of everything. But yeah, that's kind of what I do right now at this moment.
What's your title?
It is artistic producer, but we're doing like a little reshuffling of everything, kind of retitling things. So to be seen. We'll see if I still got that in a month.
And how can people get involved with the collab?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like throw an event or something, or you're interested about renting a space, you can check out our website. There's lots of information out there. You can also email info@collabyeg.ca, and you'll talk to Sophie, our lovely office administrator, and she'll point you in the right direction. As for volunteering, right now we have like a volunteer sign-up sheet available through our Instagram link tree. Because of COVID right now, it's kind of hard for us to schedule and train people for being volunteers, but generally what we have people volunteer for is like for the door, if people want to bartend. If you bartend, you get to keep your tips.
Nice.
Nice.
General system maintenance. We have like sound teching. You can kind of like come in, and if you have like somewhat of a knowledge of sound teching, you can learn even more. But yeah, there's like tons of ways. There's also like you can just reach out and be like, "Yo, I want to get involved somehow," and we can find something for you. Next month we have our Glow Festival, which is a lantern festival where basically we run workshops throughout the month of February, all about making these lanterns with our head artist. Her name's Gabs.
Yeah,
you know her?
super cool
Yeah,
stuff.
she makes some really cool stuff. I actually just edited a video
amazing.
today about like there's like a time lapse of them making the mammoth. I don't know if you've seen the mammoth.
The mammoth?
It's huge.
Yeah.
They made the mammoth?
Massive.
Yeah, they made that. So
It's
they-
got these horns
Oh
that
my
are like
God.
rainbows sticking out like 10 feet.
It's like
massive.
life size. It's so cool, and that's actually
That's
at
insane.
the Deep Freeze Festival, which
Yeah.
is at Borden Park. That's going on right now. But yeah, essentially she's like our lead artist for our Glow Festival. So we work with her throughout February and host these workshops where people can come in and make lanterns, and then I think at the end of the month is when we do a parade, and essentially we walk around the Boyle Street area. It's really about like having art be accessible to everyone in the area. And yeah, that's like something we're definitely going to need volunteers for. So I'd say like the best way to stay updated about all that kind of stuff is to follow the collab Instagram and then kind of just go on from there.
Sweet.
Follow it up if
I was wondering, do you guys still have your Saturday music series?
Yeah, we're gonna be coming back with that once all this darn COVID lets up a little bit. But
just saying.
But that's also something people can apply for. It's a great way to get heard. It's a great way to like you get paid to play, which is like, and that's what I'm talking about. Is it like
an open mic sort of thing that you get paid for?
Basically how it works is like we get all of our applications, then we program them weekly. But yeah, essentially like you come in and you do a 45-minute set and then you get paid for it. It's like pretty early in the day, so like people can like go and do stuff after. It's just like an afternoon gig. It's really sweet, really chill. That's where I have to MC sometimes.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and it's like all about bringing people downtown, connecting them with like, I don't know, what's going on with the art gallery, what's going on with the downtown market, the museum, all those great things, right? But yeah, we're looking at that coming back around February, March, and yeah, that's something that happens every Saturday. And we're also looking at like doing a market. We kind of ended our Saturday series doing like holiday markets, and those were super successful.
I wanted to take part in that. It was like free to rent the table too.
Yeah. We want, that's the whole thing about like it being accessible. Yeah. It's like we want to keep. We want to like motivate people to do things, right? So keeping it free is like such an easy way to do that. And that's like what collab's all about.
That's so cool how you like think that doing these things, curating events, being an artist, showing your work, performing live is like so hard and like almost impossible to do it, and then like literally there's so like iHuman and collab and like there's all of these like organizations in the city that are like,
we want to
come
help
and do
you.
art, like we want to help you, and it's like, what? Like,
the more and more I think about it too,
idea.
like Edmonton really is a very special and a very unique place. We're literally the most northern city, and I guess because of that, we have more festivals here than days of the year.
Yeah.
Like, and it's all because we have to be happy around wintertime, so what do? We make festivals, I guess. And it's true, there's so many winter festivals here, and summer festivals, like, just all year round. We're such a festival, artsy, orientated place, even though sometimes from afar, like, living here, I'm like, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that.
I don't feel like it all the time.
You really have to, like, get your head in there to, like, want to do things. Like, right now, I'm looking at how like Ego can be involved with Next Fest, which is like Next Fest is one of the coolest things ever.
It's totally youth orientated and it's all about young artists. I love that whole concept behind it.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like I acted in it when I was like in high school and stuff, and then shortly after high school, but I was like trying to figure out how to pitch what I wanted to do, so I was going through a program from 2017 and looking through that, and I just saw all these people that I know doing stuff in Next Fest, which was just so cool. And it's like people that I've just known now, but doing that stuff back then is just like so fucking cool.
Yeah,
it was a great event for connections, especially like people that are your age and around your age. When I went to my first Next Fest, I saw one of the artists who I went to school with on the walls, like who I went to university with. One of the girls in the fashion studio, like she was also at like McEwen, you know, and it was so crazy, all these different weird connections.
That's cool.
And the people that I met that night, I met again later on as well too, like throughout shows, throughout like Dynasty was another one that I took part in. Some people like from that were there. It was so crazy how it kind of intermingled and became what it is now, which is like so crazy.
And the parties are so sick. I just remember like
the
opening.
Cool.
Yeah, they're so dope.
There was like a burlesque dancer at the beginning, like lights everywhere. There was
Smut
a
night,
artist set up who like was painting bodies and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, they need to do. It sucked that it was like online last year, so that's why I really hope, especially for Ego's sake, if we're able to be a part of it, that we can do something cool.
That'd be so tight. There's one painting that I remember that was there. It wasn't a real painting. It was actually a canvas with a bunch of pieces of gum on it. And what you do is you take a piece of gum and you chew it, and the artist would take it from your mouth and mold it and put it on the canvas.
Oh, that's cool and gross.
It was all colorful and
Literally.
stuff. And
Damn.
she made like a face out of it. It looked so good. I was like, ew.
That's collaboration right there.
Right? That was
Really.
such a cool project. I was like, I'm going to do that one day.
It's crazy, like, the things that we used to do before COVID. Like,
Oh, fuck.
some
The
random
dumb too,
person would
right?
walk up to you.
Yeah, shit.
Some random person would, like, walk up to you and be like, yo, try this. And you'd be like, okay, yum, thanks.
Yeah.
Like,
Cheers.
whatever. And just, like, it's so crazy, like, thinking about those things. And then you're like, God, like,
That's
Where's
so
this bacteria
gross.
fear even come from?
Dude, like
Literally.
bowling, I don't know how people are gonna go back to bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling has to be one of the most fucking unsanitary things. Eating
Yeah.
like chips and like digging into the. Ugh.
oh my God, the,
So
like, pizza
gross.
hand. the
Yeah,
shoes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And there's so many kids fucking bowling. Like
Oh
those
my God.
bowling balls are. They need to
I
be
didn't
disposed
think
of.
about that.
Burn
Every
that
time you go
shit.
bowling, you just take one of those like wipes, wipe it down, then bowl with it.
Yeah, exactly.
God, what are you supposed to do?
Do you want to talk a little bit about the Fuck It show?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Go ahead.
that was like that was the first show that I threw. Man, that was a long time ago. It was like,
That show was amazing.
yeah, you were part of that, man. That
Yeah,
was,
thanks.
that was-
I was in that show.
That was so cool. We basically we told all these artists that we were gonna throw a show, and we thought we had a venue, and then we didn't have a venue up
What?
until like a week before.
Okay, how did you find that venue? It was the weirdest place.
Yeah, so it was in City Center Mall, on the west side entrance in the middle. I don't know if
It
that's
used to
good
be a
directions.
bank?
Yeah, it used to be a bank.
Yeah.
So basically the story of that place is it was a bank. It got taken over by this art group, and they like made an installation and then just ripped all the shit out and left it. So basically I was like just looking for a venue, something cool online, and back then there was this website called Alberta Space Finder, which is gone now, but it was the hookup for venues. You could look and see, like, you could just type in your city what kind of like event you wanted to have, and you could see all the venues that like match that. They shut it down because of COVID, but basically I found it that way. And then yeah, we just like got in contact with them. It was super stressful. Like we didn't have the venue until like a day or two before.
What?
And then we were like loading into the venue and cleaning the venue, and we still didn't have event insurance for the venue. So it was like this whole big issue, but eventually we got it. We were able to feature over, I think, 27 emerging artists.
Yeah. They had so many rooms there too, and each one of the
Yeah.
artists got a little room. That was crazy.
It was so cool, and like, I don't know, that was from that summer of all those events, and I'd spent the summer seeing my friends do really cool shit, so I wanted to do something cool. So yeah, basically me and my friend David contacted Elisa, who'd thrown a few shows, and we knew her in high school, and we kind of connected her with our idea, and we wanted it to be like, I don't know, me and David love edgy stuff, so we called Fuck It, because that was kind of the whole mentality of the show. We were like,
The name
fuck
was
it,
good,
right?
yeah.
It really caught people's
It
attention.
popped and
And that was like kind of our whole mentality, is like, fuck it, we're just gonna make this happen no matter what. And
that's kind of what I thought too.
yeah, exactly. It was like, we didn't have a venue, didn't have insurance until last minute, but fuck it, we like made it happen. And then
You must
like,
have said it throughout the whole show too.
dude,
just
and then
constantly.
we were like running the show, and we were nearing the end, and I heard this ringing, and I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at the DJ, and because I thought he was doing something, and he was like, back there, and this lady had pulled the fire alarm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we were like, we wanted it to be accessible because we were downtown, we were in people's space. We kept, we let people who were around that area and live in that area just kind of come in for free. But I think she was a bit under the influence and pulled the fire alarm, so we had to evacuate the whole mall, and we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get people back in.
Yeah.
We actually, that was like Mo was performing that night and then leaving. He was catching a flight right after the performance, and going back to Toronto. But yeah, like the fucking fire marshal came. He told us it was all good. We got to run outside and get everybody back in and finish the show. And we actually like left the venue and didn't lock the door. It was like this giant open door, so we got in trouble for that.
Oh damn!
But yeah, whatever. I don't care.
They get steel in there.
Yeah.
It's like cardboard.
Exactly. And yeah, I don't know. It was just like, it was such a good experience for me because it showed me that I could do stuff besides acting. Like I kind of always thought that was the only thing I'd ever do. But yeah, that's like kind of lit a fire in me that I've continued on with. I went on and threw a show later that year at the nightclub I worked at because of it, and kept throwing shows since, kind of thing.
Yeah, wow,
Nice.
Yeah, it was definitely a turning point, I think.
And who knows, after COVID too, everything will just blow up too.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's just wait.
I keep saying that.
Yeah.
Do you have any shows planned or coming up in the future?
Yeah. So I've had a show that I've been planning. I started planning it at the beginning of December, and it was supposed to be on January 7th. Yeah, we all know how that went.
Yeah.
So that has been pushed. Right now it looks like it's going to be on February 18th. I'm probably going to be releasing stuff closer to then. I want to be sure, because we did a hand-drawn poster for this one.
Oh, nice.
So I want to
So
be
cool.
I want to be sure that it's the right date on there
Yeah.
when we release it. But yeah, this is going to be a cool show. I've done a lot of hip hop. Like that's kind of, I think that's probably what people know me for, is like throwing hip hop shows. So I'm doing something different, doing something a little bit different with this one, and I'm very excited about it.
Ooh.
Exciting.
Yeah.
That's February 18th,
Yeah.
possibly?
Yeah, potentially.
COVID, chill out,
Right?
and follow Tom to figure out if COVID is chilled out or
There you go.
So, do you have any favorite visual artists right now?
Ooh, besides Lucy Cook?
Oh, stop.
No, seriously, man. Seriously, I had to get you for like the ego glow thing, man. It was.
That was so tight.
it was
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I want to do like a live show, kind of inspired by that kind of thing.
I've
eventually.
always wanted to do a show where I'm just like running around as the artist painting people's bodies.
Yeah, that's what
That
I
would
was
be so
thinking.
cool.
Okay, we'll have to connect about that.
I have ideas.
I also, like, I love Evan Robinson. He was our ego photographer, so I feel like I'm cheating a bit. But his photography is great. The zines he makes is fucking awesome. I've always been a fan of Dana Belcourt. Dana actually moved to go to school somewhere else, but Dana is, like, super talented. Who else am I thinking of? Oh, there's a gentleman that I saw his work at the Moskers event, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit. And his name was Talib Kochier. Do you know this person? No? Okay. They have really cool shit. Also, like, we've got so many good tattoo artists in the city,
Oh my
like
God.
Shaheem,
Big
Golden
time.
Child,
Damn, you stole mine.
Sabdidi, obviously he's not really here anymore, but he's always an OG.
Mhm.
Who else? That's such a good question, because I've actually as for like my favorite like clothing brand in the city, it has to be Existing Condition. Holy fuck, I don't know if you guys have seen any of their stuff. They're like, they do the coolest like promotion for their stuff, because I don't know, I just see so many people put out thoughtless promotion for whether that be their music or their other art forms, but this team is like so methodical about each thing that they release, in the same way that Ego is. That like Existing Condition, man, I want to work with you guys so fucking bad on something.
Shout out.
Also, Night Shifts is like a fantastic brand. I've worked with Garrett. He was like a graphic designer for one of my posters, and one of the like coolest experiences I've had working with a graphic designer. I've never met this guy, but we would just like chat over Instagram, and he'd send me like pictures of his screen, and we like made a really cool poster. Cool. So Sad Guy Garrett on Instagram. Yeah.
Man, you got a long list there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because there's a tattoo artist named Lex, and he's amazing. Yeah, there's so many talented visual artists that I can't even think of all of them right now.
I know.
Grace, do you have any?
Okay, her name's Kelsey. She's like a graphic designer. She just made the poster.
Oh, the one you showed me? Yeah, she's
so
good.
Dope. And she made the threefold poster too, which I'm not sure if you saw it, but it's like...
Oh, is that the other one? Yeah, I have seen
It's
that.
like black and white. Yeah. She made that one too, and just like incredible. I sent her like just some random screenshots of different things. I was like, go crazy, and then like came up with that, and I was like, oh my god.
That's
I'll tag her Instagram in our Instagram post if you guys need. And she's interested in like making like music videos and stuff.
Oh, cool.
She's doing like graphic design at a school and somewhere. So yeah. What about you, Lucy?
I guess I'd like to mention my friend Moria Kaviziak. She was here in Edmonton, and she actually threw that other show, Zenith.
Oh, where? Okay.
And I think she's in Toronto right now, and she was doing like fashion school and fashion business there for a bit. So that's really cool because I think she really found her art form through fashion. So inspiring. So follow her on Instagram, especially if you guys want to be inspired by her sick-ass clothes.
Yeah.
She's just a tight person too, so I miss her.
Aw, right? They all go to the 6. Man.
I know, right?
And Montreal.
Come back home.
Yeah. I saw this, I saw like a Yago death or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I think
everyone
it's like
follows that
literally
now.
the funniest
Oh,
thing
dude,
ever.
it's so
like
funny.
It's so funny, and they posted this thing yesterday on their story, and it was like average Edmonton hater, and it was like just like a meme picture, and it was like, I guess I'll move to Montreal, like with speech bubble, and it was like, stop. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, does that count as an art form?
Yeah. Man, also,
right?
I've like told people I do ego before, and they think I do like that meme page, and they're almost way more excited for that, which I can't blame them. That shit is hilarious.
I want to have whoever's behind that account on the podcast, but then I feel like it would ruin it. A face reveal, a voice reveal.
Yeah.
Like they posted this.
You guys just
like,
have to keep it anonymous,
right? With like a voice.
Yeah, voice modulator.
They posted this thing. It was like a bedazzled like negative rapid test, and it was like the like material girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, please post this because I wanted to share it to my story because it was like fucking hilarious. And then they like DM'd me the photo, and they were like in all caps, you can use this for manifestation purposes, and it was like the like praying emoji, and like, I was like, stop.
Whoever runs it has a great personality and sense of humor, man. Fuck.
It's just it's so funny to me. I'm so happy that I actually found it because fucking Janice Irwin.
She's solid, man. She's always dude. I love
Janice.
following Janice Irwin on Instagram. My sister's interviewed her a couple times, and she's
So jealous.
she comes to collab.
Yeah.
For, like, pretty much all her events. She's like such a involved like MLA.
Right?
Like I think that our mayor is gonna be good at that too. He seems like a pretty grounded guy. Even like he's like to figure out arts funding, he's like electing a board to help him, which is like
cool.
Yeah, it's like
That's smart.
Yeah, exactly. This guy like he doesn't know about art. He knows about other shit, but
To know that you don't know, that's very responsible.
exactly.
That's crazy. Anyway, I was wondering a little bit about, I don't even know how to pronounce it, so you might have to help me. Like the Fugacious Psychedelic movie. What was it called again?
Fugacious.
Oh.
Fugacious.
Yeah,
Got it.
You were
A
there,
Psychedelic
right?
Odyssey. I saw it at the
Dude,
premiere,
you
and
gave-
it was so good!
I think you gave me like a little bit of mushrooms right before. And the thing was, you did, because I was already on mushrooms when I got there, and I was like, oh, I'll have a little bit more. But
It said a Psychedelic Odyssey, so I was like, nom nom.
yeah, fuck yeah, man. That's how I saw it. Yeah, so that was like a film we made in high school. God, that was like like 6 years ago now.
Yeah, but it was a long time in the making, hey?
Yeah. So we made that in high school, and then we went. It was 2 years that our homie was editing it and getting it all together, and then basically it was finally finished, and we wanted to get it into a theater, and we were looking at different options around the city, and we stumbled on the Garneau, and we realized we didn't have the resources to make that possible, but we felt like we have enough connections into the community to make that possible. So we made a Kickstarter video. We asked for, I don't even know how much, enough to get it screened, and then enough for it to go out to festivals and stuff. And it was just really cool, because it was something we worked so hard on a long time ago. That was kind of how we spend our summers in high school, me and my friend David.
Wow.
Because we'd make all these movies and shit, and it was crazy. Most of them you're never going to be able to find anywhere, but I saw some of them the other day, and they weren't that bad. They were actually decent. But yeah, Fugacious is all about psychedelics, finding the meaning of life. We were all super into that in high school. So yeah, it was
it's pretty intense. Your
Yeah.
character really went through a lot of turmoil.
a lot of tripping. I've
Yo.
definitely had trips like that. Maybe not to that degree, but where I feel like I'm bleeding out of my eyes. But yeah, I don't know. It was a passion project that we worked together on, and to see it come to fruition, and we it was cool too, because we got a limo. Someone, I don't know who, someone got us a limo
awesome.
there and shit, and we did a giveaway, and someone else got to arrive in a limo, and it was really fun.
A red dress, roll out a red carpet.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking pretty
Garnet does that
snazzy.
red carpet.
And how can people watch it now?
I think it's on YouTube. I imagine it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube now. Originally we sold DVDs and shit, but I think we are out of them now. So yeah, YouTube I can send you guys that link.
Yeah, send it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. You've done so many acting opportunities. This was probably one of your first ones, hey?
Yeah.
Seeing as you did it all throughout high school?
Yeah, this was kind of how I got into film and stuff, was doing these movies over the summers. So yeah, it was cool to actually see it on a big screen. And I've had stuff I've acted in screen at the Garneau before.
Really?
Yeah, just short films I've acted in or music videos, but seeing something where you give a shit is so much more valuable. Seeing me and my friend David act on screen there was just so surreal, because that's what we wanted to be doing since we were kids. So
And then you are on the
Yeah.
screen. 2
That's
years, 3 years
amazing.
later.
Exactly, and the fact that we made it happen again is that's what it's all about, is making your own opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Man, you've been doing that from the start.
You know it. You know it.
I was there. I was. That's so funny. And what's the director's name again? He was so cool.
Yeah, Zach Prude.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach's awesome. I love Zach. He's a very interesting guy.
Yeah, I could imagine he would have been a very artistic director, the way he would have directed it. He's got a vision, that's for sure.
Man. Yeah, I mean, it was super fun, because it was all of our friends, and we had days planned, and we'd hit our scenes. But it was we were friends, making a movie, right? And so we'd switch off, if you weren't acting, you'd do sound, or it was all pretty lax. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was such a good experience. It also kind of taught me how to work with my friends, which was something Ego basically just hired all my friends. So
Tight that you can even do that and create a platform where you can.
now it's about
so
getting
cool.
money to get them paid properly. That's the next step. But yeah, it was I don't know. It was cool. That was my first time making something outside of school with my friends that I wanted to make, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Zach is such an interesting, creative guy. He's one of my best friends, and very weird.
I know, when I first met him, I was like, oh, I like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. He's got good vibes.
I was also wondering about that. I think it was another video that you were in. I don't know if it was around the City Francophone, but Michael Mysterious. You want to talk a little bit about that too?
Yeah, so that was a play I did. Oh God, I think it was in October or November. But yeah, that was like my first time acting on stage in years. It was pretty crazy. It was like, so I had auditioned for it right as I was kind of like getting out of acting, and then we actually put the play on 2 years later, which is crazy.
Holy.
So it's like right at the beginning of COVID, I applied for it, and then we had rehearsals like about a week after we finished releasing Ego. And that was a fucking awesome experience. Like, I got to work with like professional actors, and like it was like a professionally paid gig and everything,
So cool.
which is like, I've done that in film, but it was just me. Like I was like a solo in a movie, or there'd be minimal scenes with other people. So having that, first of all, building like relationships with my cast was fucking cool. I still love like Christina and Gavin. I love you motherfuckers so much. Patrick, like my director, he actually went to Vic too, and now he's like helping me develop the grant for Ego.
Wow.
So like the connections are awesome. And then like, so basically how it worked is like we went in, we did 2 or 3 weeks of rehearsal with our masks on and everything, and then our director actually got COVID at the beginning of it, so he had to direct us over Zoom. So we were all in it, and he was directing us over Zoom. Basically the play is like about this family, this like I guess blended family, where it's like a mother and her son, and I played the son, and then a daughter and her father, and then this kid named Michael, who his grandparents die, and he's kind of forced into this house, and he's a really passive kid, and kind of everything kind of just whirls around him. He's not really able to grip on anything or like really connect with the family. So the play is all about family. It's about connecting with like the odd little duck. So yeah, basically that was kind of what. Oh, sorry, what?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was really touching, and like, it was also cool because like we got to like be teenagers. Like we got to smoke weed and like swear and drink and get fucked up on pills. Like that was like part of the story. And also like I got to act with someone who taught me in acting. She played my mom in it, which was like really cool.
That's
like
super
all these
cool.
Theater mom.
Yeah, like all these I after high school I got like a lot of flack for not going to theater school because that was just like not what I wanted to do, and now I'm like, oh, I hope you guys are enjoying third year of theater school because I'm acting with our teacher and I'm getting paid for it. So that was a really nice
in your hometown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was a really nice fuck you to some of those people. But yeah, just like being in like a professional environment like that is always refreshing. Like I find that's how I learned how to direct and run my own set, was being an actor either on like really well run sets or really poorly run sets. I think you learn more from that.
Interesting.
But this was just like it gave me a lot of scope on like how many people can be involved in a project and how you can do that successfully, I think. So it was an awesome experience. Plus I got to like act on stage. We were one of the like only plays on stage in Western Canada during that time because of all the COVID restrictions.
Right.
Did you guys have to do anything COVID, like put up those sheets?
So we had to get
big plastic sheets at the beginning.
Plexi.
Oh man,
I saw
just a
shows like
giant
that.
one?
It's like a
Yeah.
TV.
A show when they
No.
just had a giant plexi in front of the stage.
That's crazy.
So the actors could be without their masks and the audience could watch. I was like, that
Whoa.
seems ridiculous. Because, like, how far do you
Oh my-
spit? Like,
Literally.
We had to get COVID tested every couple days.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then like it was crazy too because the thing with the masks was like we rehearsed with masks for 2 or 3 weeks, and then like at a certain point we got to take the masks off, and like just the amount of like real estate for acting you can use, like when it's just your eyes, you have to like work so much harder to like emote and also like
Yeah.
pick up pick up from your co-actor. So like taking the mask off was fucking insane. It like
I could see your face.
Yeah, and like you can like it's even just like saying the words feels different in your mouth when you don't have the mask on.
When you know you're allowed to articulate.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just caught in the mask.
Do you have like any more plans to be involved in like any more shows this year?
Like acting wise?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean I've got like a few things. I've looked at a few scripts over the last little bit. I know for sure one of them's happening, and that's in the summer, and that's with the Fugacious team. We're gonna be making something new, something I actually haven't read the new script. We like wrote a grant for it last year or 2 years ago, and I don't want to say too much because it's mostly Zach's thing, but it'll be really cool. At that time, we were looking and talking to a stunt guy about how much it would be to light someone on fire.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if that's still happening in the script, but at one point that was happening.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole idea. And then I've got another short film that's kind of in the works. They're still working on the script, but I don't really know how much I can say about that one either. But
exciting.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll have to see in a year, I guess.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. I like acting. It's just it's hard to find stuff that you like that you want to act in. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully something comes up.
And in your own words, quoting you, sometimes you gotta make it too.
Yeah.
So just keep making it.
Yeah.
It's hard work there. It's a lot of hard work.
Seriously.
Just do it. Don't stop creating, people. Don't stop creating.
Exactly. If you don't stop, then you just keep going. That's a good quote, man. That's a great one.
I think we should call the podcast that. If you don't stop, then you just keep going. Okay, so Oscars Film Festival.
Yeah.
You were on the film board for the film festival?
Yeah, I was on
What
the
a cool
selection.
opportunity.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why are you guys asking me? But yeah, basically I had a homie that worked with the Oscars, and he asked me if I'd be interested in being on their board this year to check out, like, basically it's like Muslim filmmakers all around the world, but also in Edmonton.
Sick.
Dude, it was insane. Like, the only reason I said yes, not the only reason, but the main reason I said yes was because I wanted to see how cool these short films were. And holy fuck, they were so good, man. And they were like from all over the world. I don't even know how many there were, but there was so many solid ones. And yeah, basically like I went through and watched all of them, and then I filled out the criteria as much as I could. Not being Muslim, I wasn't able to fill in some of that, so I was just like excluded from that part of the scoring.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was fucking awesome. They also had some local contributions, which were really cool. There's a movie coming out called Khalil. Edabom's in that, actually.
No
He's like
way.
acting in it. Yeah, he's really good in
So cool.
it. Yeah.
I gotta watch this.
Yeah, it's I wish I knew when their festival was, but they have a festival coming up in March.
I think it's March 12th.
Yeah, it is March 12th.
Yeah.
Word. And that, I think it's at the Windspear.
Oh.
I was gonna go last year, but apparently it's crazy. Apparently it's really big and it's really fun. I'm looking forward to it. They're also doing an event beforehand, like the day before, and it's all about connecting young Muslim artists. So they're doing like a panel and workshops and something. I'm sure they'll be able to talk more about that, but
Yeah.
they do some really cool shit. I went to another one of their events early December or late November. I can't remember what it was called. But essentially what they're trying to do is like, and I'm sure they'll be able to elaborate way more on this than I can, but they've bought a space or are in the stages of like getting this space downtown, and it's going to be like a completely in-house like production studio essentially. So like the front is like a storefront, and then they have studios, and they have computers. I don't even know what they have. They got a lot of shit planned, and like they've got like going to the event and that kind of thing. There was like, it was that energy from that summer where it's like, these are people who want to do something. I don't think they're like necessarily our age, but they want to do really cool shit in Edmonton. And I think they're doing it already. So
Awesome.
yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, in early February, we're talking to a couple people from Oscars Film Festival, so stay tuned for more
that's happening.
Sweet.
Information.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll fill you in, because they've got their shit together is what I'm trying to say. They're like going through like the film board process, and then like going to this event. Like, one really cool thing was they had like this wall of all of these different artists from different disciplines with like a bio and their Instagram handle. So like they're all about building community. They wanna like connect people within Edmonton and give them the resources they need. So they're gonna be great guests. Yeah.
That'll be so fun. I'm so excited.
Right.
They're so dope.
I think that's all of our questions.
Yeah, that's it
Do
for
you
now.
have anything to say to the people
Watching,
To the people.
listening.
People listening?
They're not watching, are they?
Some wise words.
Forgot to tell you there's a hidden camera.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, if you live in Edmonton, look for the resources around you, because I love the city, but sometimes they're fucking hard to find. But once you find them, only more will come from that. Like, it really opens up a whole bunch of doors. Once you make that first connection. Also, like I've said the whole time, like, you got to make your own opportunities. You can't just wait for them. All that kind of good stuff, I guess. Yeah, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
It's beautiful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Yes, thanks
Don't
so much.
forget-
We're so excited to have you.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
guys. This is fucking awesome. I appreciate it.
Don't forget to give Tom a follow, and Ego, and
Collab,
and
the Moskers,
and-
and Mo.
all of the
we mentioned so
all
many
of the
things.
artists and musicians that were mentioned will be tagged in our Instagram post, so you can follow them all. So support local, listen local, and stay tuned. 12th is a new date for Threefold.
Oh.
February 18th, Tom's got something planned, and February 26th, there's another big event at the Aviary coming up that will probably be announced by the time this comes out. So
Woo, that's a packed
stay
2 weeks,
tuned.
man.
I know. Hopefully it happens.
Oh my
Anyways.
gosh, we got a lot going on. Wow. Thanks so much for coming
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks
See
for
you
listening.
next Friday.
Bye.